for they are gone into captivity from thee. From thee, the bald eagle is what started it. So I believe he's either challenging them to shave their heads as the eagle and get ready, or telling us to, I guess, put on our eagle's clothing, and really engage and adapt and transition to the American side. See, because a lot of people, because they live in America or were born in America or got their green cards or whatever and their citizenship to say they're American. African Americans don't say they're African Americans because they're here in America. We say we're African Americans because our ancestors, our parents, our mothers and fathers, the children,
God wants you
we
to pray
all,
this right now.
excuse me,
If you have 10 seconds for God,
we all
let us
were,
pray, and when you finish, send it to someone you love. Dear God, you have blessed me in so many
we
ways.
all were raped. We all were raped and violated and impregnated, poisoned with this white man's DNA to now have American, his DNA, to be born not from our fathers or our dads or black men. We were born from these slave masters, slave owners, these blacks that had his blood, and still came out black. And what they would do is kill the father off, or maybe even the mother, and keep the children. And once the child got old enough to have their own babies, then he kept the percentage of his slaves were from that mother, and maybe after that killed her and kept the babies. And that child started from his seed, and then that turned into a baby that got sold to Mississippi, and from Mississippi he was working and met a slave and got pregnant, and that baby from his seed that had that white man's blood, that's how it, and it just spread like that because there's so many stories of the blood, and their priority was keep the blood. Because it's kind of like how we get on the news and, oh, we're about to do this, we're about to do that, it's the new thing, and we're going to try this, we're going to cut this off, and then next year or something, the next president get elected, he bring it back, and, so you get used to, and so the conversation was, we pregnate the slave, and you keep this baby, because that's, you got to think, the nation. What we see is some drunk white man in his house that's following that protocol. You got a white man that's a mayor, a white man that's, own his shoe shop, a white man that does this, a white man that has that going and certain things. But when the word came out that this is what the American should do, that's what the American did, because that was for America. So the black man, or the black woman, the black child, the black grandma, the black grandfather, became a liability for the nation to quote words that seemed democratic or Republican or independently liberating the black. When these covert words were just signified ways of how to connect and trap them by opening another door, by shutting the one behind them. And when they went through that door, is another way to examine what they do in that door. Versus, how they used to treat them when they was in this door. And that's how they've been able to covert the law, covert these words, covert action. So the black submitted his body to the same liberty as the white while posing. It's basically, we can dupe these niggers right here in front of their faces, the world, to be submitted to our politics, our government, in our hand, couldn't question once. And they're outside, and we won't allow them in. And when they come in, they're in this elaborate rouge. What they see is, the niggers over there in their neighborhood trying to make it, and they feel this big world that the white man was always privileged to is privileged to them. And because the white man blocked the average individual with financial, the struggle for them, in their view, is a financial depravity. So that forces the black man, that's the victim of the whole structure of the building, to now think his effort would have been financial if he was able to do something. And the reality of it, it was always, all this was built so that an eye on a nigger 24/7 didn't have to be on the plantation watching where the nigger went. If for sure the nigger needed $70,000 to be, this is just an example, to be secure, the nigger ain't gonna go too far if he only has 15. So it's automatic known, the nigger has to do. So it's like they just put it in front, so now they watch you from a different perspective of a distance. And now watching you could be, how many doctor trips did you take this year? How many times did you get pulled over by the police? Did you, if you had kids, did you have any? Was the mother complaining about? Like, these are certain things, because it now even progressed, because maybe we live like that as white people, but the nigger was always kept as this. So now something that a nigger never would have got to live, because the white man lived like this forever, you're getting to taste it. So he's taking a step back from that, because life like that is just ringing the bell. I want to take a ride out here and do this today. But the real, what it is the conversation. See, now you have America's openly opened the doors to this Illuminati, and now it is a conversation, because Chad and Brad, just talking to themselves, now have people from different nations, different languages, a part of something that has expanded their eyes to not just this white project, getting it from the government, the military, who's running, their city council. They're actually either partnered with these people or know not to mess with these people. So it's become international on a level of expanding this racism towards still upholding it to politics, still upholding it to their crime, and still upholding it to what the devil wants them to do. So they're able to do all three, and they're trying to form it in like a fashion of by the time the nigger looks up, he's gonna be so busy, able to know he, probably able to afford his rent in this nice house. Like, no one sees like the real projection. When BET formed, it was black people in the mind. We didn't have this. So having a TV, having a couch, having a nice ride, able to tell my mom, okay, I got it. My dad, I'll do it. And things like that became what the message was. In a world, we didn't have the simple things. And to see a black person happy because a white person had that, or could afford this, or live like that, and see a black person have it, was meant for the message. But now it's, if you don't have this, designer clothes and this, that, when not everyone could sit there and watch everyone on TV. They can't afford this, they can't afford it. So it became something where the struggle to not have, and we weren't trying to compete, we wanted to understand, okay, before we could move and tell everyone at their house to, watch this at 8 o'clock. You gotta understand, not everyone has a house. So then a house, and then a television. Make sure they had the money to afford monthly to have the cable to watch it. So it became an objective. So people understand this projection just force everyone to just be a dummy with money. When the personal battle was to even have something. And not because you had a TV, you had a house, you had a, like, we. There's no we. There's no we pot and we education. There's no we, let's help everyone get, what do we need, and it became an and you gotta have this, you gotta have this, and if you're not this, if you don't have this, if you're not on this level, with identification of someone doing something. You're not someone when it was all, everyone before was looking for that helping hand themselves. Every story, everyone looked for something and never got nothing. You got some people got certain, that person, had this was my, looked after, mentored me. Like you have certain situations, and that made so unhappy to know the person we watched knew this person young and was actually caring about this person to do something with them before we knew and developed them into. So those are wonderful. But it's one person, and it's like it phonifies that this person's like that, and to do it, and then you'll see it ain't like that, and then you'll see kind of two, you're not like that either. For them to, I guess, stop and do all that. For you gotta respect that. That if he wasn't either, who they did it for, was so it's like you respect certain things, but my point is, um, check this kept going down since 17. We may have to hold this one. Shift this one over. So, but definitely and then so now and then it was so sad about it. Like even though I'd said all that, the glamour and just forcing you, what's sad is now you got a conspiracy that you put this together. You put this together, and you're able to now force these people to have communications with blacks that, remember I told you, only because of Africa was it allowed in the first place to even be conspired. Not that it took place because of Africa, but they tried to. So that alliance was built and it never broke. So you always look for a black and a white and a black person working together, which you would never thought is the key. And then when you see the alliance of the black and white, you would see the fact of the Holocaust was a Jewish and white alliance, or Jewish black and white alliance, but some Jews that obviously were in power set that up because they wouldn't have looked for those to turn if they weren't looking originally for it. So you gotta find the loopholes in these every criminal, and so they always tell them, look, at 7 o'clock, at 3:30, I shot this person. I don't know why it's so important to let everyone know you're retarded. That was the thought of the crime, not that you did it. That you think that way. Because remember, you had to do something, right, to tell on yourself. So that you're that stupid, right? You wouldn't did it, then you just had to show everyone how stupid. Think about it. It was a stupid thing to do. And then you told everyone the stupid thing you did. How smart are you? That's all I gotta say. Right? If you were smart, it would have been, that guy's still breathing. We didn't do anything to him. So the fact that that's even, I don't say an issue, but that's even something that's reliable for you, I guess that's I noticed that murderers get murdered. Now, what does that say about the innocent? For a murderer to get murdered, he had to murder somebody. So the innocent person is the testimony of why the murderer doesn't exist anymore. And that's what happened. But the murderer had to murder somebody to be a murderer. And the innocent person was like, wait a minute, my cousin wasn't a murderer and he got murdered. Well, that's my point. Is that something? You know, the murderer is the person that succumbs to that. And of course, someone's going to exactly use innocence, but then you got to understand the innocent person is who they murdered. So of course they get the whole foundation of this life we call an existence of murder, death, something tragic. Your cousin, your person, your loved one was the spark of why it's an interest that it exists. So of course they have the plague. They're what gives the fight back, what gives the testimony, what gives the investigation. That's the key. That's what I'm afraid of. The world allowing the murderer to go free and not do anything. Not do nothing. You know, not even deny the fact they don't want it to even be in existence. The only way murder exists is if the devil himself came and killed the person. So the fact he uses you to do it. I got banned again. TikTok is ads. I just gotta say that TikTok, you guys are, this is crazy. I get so sick of looking at TikTok and damn near seeing somebody get killed. If not, they do. I probably should just shoot out someone's brains got blown all the way out. The brains getting blown all the way out is not what we need to be having the children committing in these streets. They gonna block me, but keep the video up. The nigga doing it, the child, that all of it. The people's reaction, oh my God, that nigga's a gangster for that. Nah, he should have used his head. See, this is the case here of what happens when your parents and your father are not around. Like, on TikTok. But nigga can't sit here and say, the shit I can clearly type it in. And I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about. Tyrice Rollins, really, that's someone, he needs his own platform, literally. God go live, you know. And it would be cool people that access it, you know, they want to, you know, see my live and create an account. Like, I just need, you know, because other than dumbass shit, what, you know, Facebook's the biggest because it offers so much. There's so many doors to go in. It's like Meta when it comes to social media. That's off limit that you can't do. So on all the other platforms and shit, you know, that don't even have a door. Every other platform is literally a page of the set that you click on and you went to not even another page. You went to like a fucking a flyer some shit. A notepad. Went to a sticky note of some other shit that stops you because it's sticky and you can't go on. Like, it'd be crazy. Facebook like has doors that's fucked up because you can't even use them. I was like the dumbest ass move. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. TikTok made me, so I got suspended. I get so as soon as I come back, I get suspended again. I'm not gonna say I can't say that. Fuck. I mean, see what I'm saying? I'm preaching and curse words come out. Does that make any sense to ban someone like that? That the word itself would allow me to say certain things. And as I am sorry, I'm very sorry, God. I didn't have to. But he knows I'm not saying it in no way and form like that. So why the freak would I think? Why the fuck would I think? Why the fuck would I think TikTok, shit wise, shouldn't have anything? What should be off limits? If someone can die, the topic is vaguely fucking out. It don't exist. I know TikTok. I know because TikTok said you can't say it. Everyone's safe, and that's what's bothering me. That's what you got to get about censorship. You're actually endangering people. You're putting them right in the damn crosshair for them to blow the shit out of everyone's bullseye out. I'm fucking mad. I'm mad at like ain't nobody, and that's my point. Everything I've said was to prepare, and that's all I'm saying. That's not fair. I don't believe in stupid ass people. This is over, Micah. I'm gonna just leave it at 2. God bless the hearers and readers of His holy word. Thank you, God. I just wanted to talk. I feel like I got some good stuff out. Took a few videos. It kept cutting off, man. I be trying to say, they be saying dumb stuff to me. I don't know if I gotta see if I got it already. Should say twice. See if it asks me twice. Oh, let me see. I'm gonna be mad. That is crazy. Let me see something real quick. Oh, I'm gonna be on fire. Oh, man. Dang. The whole time he wasn't even doing it. Dang. That was crazy. So all my videos, I'm thinking I done downloaded it. And it's saved to the phone. I didn't even check the phone for nothing. It didn't save nothing. Not one. Not on this phone. Anytime I grab this phone, it was downloading my Facebooks, my lives, so I could save them. Thought they was just being stored on here like I do everyone else. It wasn't. And you know, so crazy. I believe in God so much. We don't need those videos. The fact that they're out, and I said it, even if I wasn't on video, I believe in preaching the word so much. I don't need no one to hear it. Just me saying it's gonna reach everybody who God wanted and needed. That's what happened when you lie in front of everybody. You were in front of a full house. Ain't nobody in that place hurt. I think about that a lot. That is very important, you know. Very important to understand. What is that? So motherfucking crack in my ass don't hurt at all. My neck. This is like a plan. Yeah, dude. I'm out of here, Carl. Fuck. God bless everybody. Fuck, man. Get the hell out of here. Stop playing.